Welcome back to Strength Cultures Podcast. We're joined today by the one and only Mesquita, Jacob Mesquita. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me on, guys. You know what? Like, this is not trying to gas you guys up really quickly, but this has just been a dream come true, back in the day. 2022, I think I, discovered you guys, binged your content, and now I'm on the show. So
You are the content now, man.
yeah, it's surreal. So I appreciate you guys having me on.
Very keen to have you on, man.
Yeah, thanks.
So Jacob's been around the community for a few years now. I think did Jamie's mentorship at one point.
Yes. Did that,
Done some nutrition coaching with me. Got involved with some of the events.
I'm all around it, yeah.
We love it.
I actually was going to wear my original Strength Culture hoodie, but I couldn't fucking
The
find
eagle?
it. I couldn't find it. No, not the eagle.
The
No,
yellow.
I'm not that OG.
The yellow.
The initial collab with Itch Pig.
Oh, yeah.
The jumper.
Yeah.
I was
No.
going to wear it, but fucking didn't find it. But
Right. Next time.
yeah.
Next time.
Yeah.
You could have used it, man. It's cold today.
Yeah, it is. It's fucking cold.
It's on his Depop.
It's on my team. Ultra rare, exclusive Strength Culture hoodie. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Touched by Angus Bradley.
That's right, Bradley. Oh yeah.
Man, so was that kind of the gateway into strength culture? Was it the HB collab or was it prior to that, you reckon?
Well, I know this guy's going to be brought up a lot in this episode, but Angus was probably the first person.
Who's that?
Angus Bradley. If you
Oh,
guys don't know,
yeah.
some guy on the internet.
Some dude, yeah.
No, that was my first sort of exposure to you guys, and like the content was really good, and I think that relative factor, like being able to relate to you guys because you're from Melbourne, and it's like, because all I was consuming was just US content, and I'm like, oh, like I relate to these guys somewhat. They're talking about a lot of different shit, but then when it was like a Melbourne creator, I was like, wow, I'm really connecting, and I really found that connection there. So it was through Angus mainly, and then I think I came down one time and I was like, fuck, like my YouTube screen in real life, this is so crazy. Like, and I remember like looking at Jamie, I'm like, fuck, this guy's so tall. I'm like, I did not expect that. Like when you look through, it's like he seems like a 5'6". Sort of. not. And I'm like, fuck, like, geez. I'm like staring eye to eye to him. But yeah, that was like the first sort of exposure. I came down. I think it was the first time was that Itch Big collab. Yeah, man. And I was just down.
That
here,
was
like,
bonkers. I don't think you weren't here for that, James George.
No, wasn't.
That was cooked. It was the shift Monday night, and then they dropped the hoodies. There was heaps of people, and I was just roaming the floor like managing traffic because we said free casuals.
Oh no!
Did you guys do free casuals?
There's heaps of people training. Like most of the people,
Holy
most of the people training weren't members, or just randoms who came in because we said free casual.
Crazy.
That was mad, but hectic.
Hopefully you generated some good leads from that. That's 100%. For sure.
No, but there's even a few of the guys. Like I think like Sirik and Kendall came down.
Oh really? That was
the gateway
before they'd
gateway.
even actually been at the gym. That was mad.
Love that.
Lovely.
I actually don't know much about your origin. Like
My origin.
yeah.
Well, I think I have that, generic lore of every single coach in the industry, go through, being an athlete back when I was young. I was a bit chunkier when I was young too, so like just could not move for shit, but I was pretty skilled, like a Jokic of all my sports. Not trying to gas
gone over my head. I'm
not trying to gas myself too much, but yeah, I mean, I wasn't great, obviously, like everyone else, and so I was like, all right, let's go to uni, do a sports science degree. I love sport. And then, probably got the worst hand dealt. I did a, really practical course in COVID. So was just like logging on to Zoom in my bed, just like 7 a.m. class. So the passion for that wasn't there from my, lecturers. Obviously, they don't really have that much skin in the game. So what I did instead was, started listening to podcasts, listened to Just Fight Performance podcasts. That's where I found Angus. I was like driving on the road. I'm like, this guy's like Aussie accent, but really profound and smart. So I was like, check his stuff out, and then went on a little call with him. And then he really inspired me to like really start training people, get out there, like don't do this typical sports science route, get your ASCA level 1, and then go slave away for like 55 hours, get paid nothing, sweep the floors,
Yeah.
do all that stuff. So he was like, yeah, no, get into do some training, train some people. But yeah, that's where it started. And I was just doing some gym instructor stuff, manning the floor, training a couple clients, but I was getting sort of a wage. But now I'm sort of doing my own sort of business, operating out down in Richmond, and training just one-to-one. So getting my hands really dirty now. I was a bit hesitant at the start, but now I'm really, trying to smash those 1-to-1 hours. And so yeah, that was
Nice, man.
pretty much the summarized ARC story. But
Still doing some stuff at the uni? Still working at the uni?
yeah, not really anymore. I was also doing some sports science stuff at the uni, like strength and conditioning there, but that wasn't really hands on. It was more like the performance testing with like sprinting, change of direction, and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely felt like I took a lot of the back seat when it come to my like training. So I'll do like courses, like smash heaps of courses, online courses during lockdown, do heaps of placements. Like I did Jared K's stuff. And yeah, just a bunch of other stuff. Like my second cousin also works for like Essendon VFL. So did some stuff around that. But I thought like the best thing is just like provide a service, get paid for it, show your value. And that's where I sort of landed.
Nice, man.
It took probably a bit too long, but we're here now. So
That's it,
all that
but
matters.
you find your way. Like
Yeah.
there's no preset path. You get there the way you get there, and you're still going. You know what I mean?
It's
Like,
the journey, not the destination.
It really is though. It truly this is life.
this is life, just as it is.
And how long now have you been working with Angus? So obviously, explain your role there. So I know you obviously do a bit of it's mainly like a lot of the social media stuff, but I think it's a little bit more than that.
Yeah,
How about
so I just make memes.
Make memes.
That's it. No. So like
Memes, and then there's a bit more. Yeah.
there's a bit more than memes, but I was mainly, so it was just the group program. So general physical preparation, GPP. You sort of help look over that program, and then sort of developed over time to managing some social media stuff. So like put posts up for the page, the general physical preparation page. So I felt like he felt like I needed to have a bigger role in sort of the business. So I'm pretty much manning the whole general physical preparation page now at the moment, and just helping with a bit of business back end stuff as well. Found a bit of passion there. So in conjunction with the content. So yeah, that's what I'm currently doing at the moment.
Yeah, nice, man. Awesome. And where are things heading towards with the GP? Do you do the program yourself? Are you?
No, I don't really do the programming.
You used to in the past. You used to like run.
Yeah, I used to write in the past, and then Angus was like, I think, he was a bit more, like, he feels like he's a bit more a face of it, which is very true. So he wants to have a bit more influence. So he does that. So where it's going, eventually we want to sort of do a bit more one-to-one coaching, just start training a bit more athletes, a bit more serious athletes, get a bit more tailored. But yeah, there's some very big goals. I feel like we can hold a space where we can create like a competition with who is the best athlete, because that's what our approach is. It's like general physical preparation. It's all the physical qualities, and I think that will be in the future a good competition to have, like who is the most generally physically prepared person, aka the best athlete. So yeah, excelling in power, strength, speed, endurance. So I think that's like the main goal towards the end, is just try to make this sort of standard.
For sure. And I think I like the way you guys almost, obviously it's a long-term process, but you're almost building out that kind of like online archetype. Because a lot of, what is, especially, people like us in our 20s, a lot of what's like driving what people are thinking about doing training-wise is what they're seeing on social media. And I guess there's that niche there where you guys are trying to almost like build out this, avatar of like what does someone look like who does a lot or does, everything, is ready for everything. And obviously you guys have a lot of posts around like setting out some different standards for different qualities and things you might want to aim for. And in doing that, obviously you're giving people something to strive towards that isn't necessarily, like obviously with the gym, a lot of it ends up being, like bodybuilding focused, body composition focused, or maybe it's purely like athletics for sports, but then you've got this little midpoint where it's a bit of everything. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just trying to get like, everyday person or even athletes somewhere to land when it comes to like, what am I actually doing? Because a lot of this stuff, like being an overall athlete, it's a bit airy-fairy. So just really trying to tighten in sort of the definitions, really get clear on what we're looking for, I feel like will help people and sort of bring athletes out, because it's just like, I got that sort of goal that I'm heading towards, whether it, being faster, being stronger, being more physically prepared. So yeah, we're still building that out. So still trying to get the most clearest answer when it comes to a practical goal of like lifts and runs and, different speeds of races as well. So yeah, that'll sort of iron it out in the future. We were in a holiday in Bali and we sort of figured out slightly, and then we sort of went back to the drawing board and to see what it could really improve on, because we got a lot of feedback as well on that. So yeah.
How many Bali trips have you guys had now?
No, just the one.
Oh, just the one?
It's Angus that just hammers Bali.
Hammers it.
Just the surf lifestyle, but I feel like his body's rejecting it because he's always copping like some sort of dietary.
That's the problem. Yeah, there's too much Bali belly.
Bali belly.
That's what scares me about it.
Yeah,
I hear it. You wait, no, yours was in Bali.
No, I went to Thailand and got Thai belly.
Thai
yeah,
belly.
It's. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Bugger.
It's so bad. I think I dropped like 12 kilos as well. It was pretty
Yeah, it's rough. Like,
Jeez.
I do some nutrition with Jacob, and then he went quiet for a couple of weeks, and whatever the body weight was, I'm like, wait, you weigh what? I'm like, that's got to be a typo.
Fuck.
No, it was really bad. Not getting into it too much, but yeah, just
Yeah, a lot of that.
Absolutely.
A lot of that.
Holy.
putting a shift in the toilet. But yeah, but yeah, I know that it's the Bali trip was great. Just to get away from everyday life and just have that point where it's like, all right, let's be with each other in the same room, because we live, not in the same place. So yeah, that was really good. So that's what we wanted to flesh out. What does it actually mean to be generally physically prepared? So yeah.
I like it. And I like that there's like specific like benchmarks that you're aiming for, because it can get a bit airy fairy. It's like, and obviously Angus will talk about this a lot, like with some of the posts or podcasts or whatever it might be, like where people go through this training program and like the benefits are almost like they're almost up in the air. It's like it's almost like a feeling where it's like, oh no, like let's set some actual targets here. What did we actually achieve?
It's sort of like vibes, like, oh yeah, I feel good, I'm moving well. But no,
I think people want that. People want things to aim for, which is insert XYZ sport. There's always some objective sort of like marker of like, what are we actually measuring here?
Yeah, I mean, I think the feeling is good, like being able to feel better. Like a lot of the, everyday clients say like, yeah, I feel stronger, I feel this, I feel that. But when you attach a number to it, it feels sort of like, okay, I've ticked something off, and it drives training outcomes, I think, a bit better too. So yeah.
100%. What are some of your KPIs, or like what are those performance based testings that you guys use? Like obviously here we just use strength as our metric of like, are you moving forward with a lot of your stuff? But I know you guys would have athletes like sprinting. I don't know, just more generally all rounder athletes. Like what are some of those performance based testings that you guys are using?
Yeah, so we sort of came up with like a squat, max squat, a bench, a power clean. So we've sort of combined the deadlift in there because you're pulling off the floor. And then we did, I believe it's a 10-meter fly. So basically you have 30 meters of running space, and then you capture that 10 meters. And that time is your time there. And then a 5K. I think that like if you can't run a 5K and finish it comfortably, it's like, man, you got to hop on that air bike and watch some Netflix for fucking an hour and get your aerobic base up. So that's what we sort of came to the conclusion of. And, we got a lot of comments being like, oh, what about the back? And what about muscle ups? And what about you can just go on and on and on. Like you can go on and on with different sort of exercises, but we just got to that conclusion there.
There has to be some kind of, a constraint on how many people we're actually testing.
Like we could go on forever and ever. It's like, what about the calves? It's like, okay, man, this is like the main thing.
Calf circumference.
Yeah, I'd fail there, but yeah, that's sort of the testing we don't explicitly do those testing in like the GPP program. It's something that we are striving towards to get like a really clear outcome. Like, oh, you went through this machine and you're coming out of it with XY results. So to make it a bit more objective, but yeah, that's the main sort of group of being generally physically prepared, those sort of stats.
Yeah.
Right there. So yeah.
And then with that, are you guys, I mean, maybe this is under wraps, or maybe you haven't even thought of this, or maybe you have, but is there any thought of like because obviously it's all online, and like obviously people from around Australia, around the world, have you ever thought about like a sort of a set date where everyone's kind of submitting their GPP like tests, like a sort of like an online testing day or something like that, just for the community? Or
it'd be something like that. I mean, we take a lot of inspiration from you guys with push pull run. So we just I think my sort of theory around it is like I wanted to have this overall score And like you can do it on a specific day, but you could also have like an all-time sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Like
that's
a leaderboard or
like a global leaderboard or something like that.
Yeah,
so yeah, a lot of inspiration actually coming from Melbourne. So like Ethan Fleming with the stuff he's doing, and you guys, it's like a lot of inspiration from you guys. So we just got to put it to action. But yeah, it's very, very much down the line. There's a lot more things that we need to tackle at the moment. But yeah,
man. And speaking of push pull run, you were in push pull run 2 or 3.
I think it was 3.
I've done 2.
You've done 2 of them.
I wasn't in
I wasn't
the
in
last
one.
2.
All right, tell us.
Or not the previous one, but
not the
one
most
before.
recent one. But other way, tell us about your push pull run experience as someone who's never done something of that nature before.
Yeah, well, the environment at Strength Culture is electric. Let's put it there first.
Your bribe's coming in the mail.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. It's electric, absolutely electric. I think I set my opener to 140 and I ended up pulling like 175.
Jeez.
We love
so yeah, just everyone just absolutely yelling in your ear. Jez, literally was
big
on
factor.
the tip of my tongue. I'm about to say, shout out Jeremy Borzillo. That's his 509th shout out of this show. Yeah, absolutely. Smelling salts, they're great. But no, I think I got a taste of that powerlifting competition style, which was really good. Like you guys did a great show here when it comes to like organizing of everything. So, and yeah, just really pushing myself to the limits of my performance was really awesome too. But yeah, it was push pull run is a great competition.
Man, and your run was solid. What was it? 5:30,
5:20, one of those.
Something in that region.
Yeah.
Because so with push pull run, we have the so it's body weight adjusted. So Jacob in the one he did it, or the second one you did, got the best run.
By
factoring
dots.
in body weight, but basically by running dots.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously, I think there were people a little bit faster than you, but you were like 99.
Yeah, I think I came like what 6th, 7th.
Yeah,
in the race.
I think it's probably you and Sam Goldsmith are probably like up there as combining that like body weight as well as speed. Because you both like in the.
I'm actually going to see Sam
low-
Goldsmith for
low
the first
fivers.
time this weekend. Shout out Sam Goldsmith.
Yeah, he's been telling me.
Man.
He's
Yeah.
excited.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he is.
yes.
He comes in on a Friday morning. Yeah.
It's going to be a momentous occasion. But yeah, so like I honestly, to be honest, like with push pull run, I didn't realize like how good. I'm not good, but sorry. Let me be
Nah,
humble.
come on, gas yourself up.
No, I didn't realize like shit. I'm like pretty decent at running. Like, yeah, I was just like, fuck, I can really run. You know, like with my body weight, I didn't realize it was like that crazy that I was running that fast. I think I clocked in at 103 or something when I was here.
I think you were. Yeah, 103,
Fuck, I was beefy, all fat in the glutes. But yeah, yeah, that was interesting. Yeah,
Matt, and how's training been since? 'Cause that's been a little while ago that you were push pull run speaking. What's training been like?
Yeah, so training at the moment, just being generally physically prepared, staying on brand. But currently I'm trying to push for an in-game dunk.
Nice.
Yeah, so my KPIs for like what I'm doing when it comes to my actual goals with training chopped and changed a bit. So dunking got put on the back burner. I think at the start of 2024, I hit my first dunk. But yeah, trying to get in-game at the moment, which is going to be crucial.
What are the steps? How are we getting there?
What are the steps? Number 1, body weight. Definitely is the main one.
I think it was low 90s when you first dunked.
Yeah, low 90s. So definitely get the body weight in check for sure. Number 2 is, speaking with people in the industry, as I'm privileged to do on the High Performance podcast, you got to not be dunking all the time, especially if you're heavy, because my goodness, the impact that your joints get with like a lot of dunk training, a lot of low rim dunking, your knees get battered. Like it's a lot of force on the body. So dropping that down to 1.
So 1 dunking session a week.
1 to 2, yeah. Really keeping it really light and just sort of differentiating the two. Like maybe go 1 that's more low rim dunks and we're just finishing windmills off the backboards, doing some slam dunk, Aaron Gordon type spec. But next, the other day will be more jump intensive, like bridging the gap between, general plyos and dunking. So getting that horizontal into vertical translation of your body mass. So that's what that second session would be more geared towards. But yeah, so really dropping it down to 2 days. Because when I got my first dunk, I was dunking every day.
Crazy.
Fuck, my left patella was saying,
Booked it.
fucking stop jumping,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. So it worked, but then didn't facilitate long-term dunking
Yeah.
abilities.
Like I learnt the hard way, and then
Sometimes you have to though. Like we can think in hypotheticals, but sometimes you've got to just
you got to just fuck around.
you've got to
and
make
find
the
out.
mistake. Like don't do that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that, and then like listening to people say, I'm like, yeah, like these two sort of events clicked. I'm like, yeah, I know what I need to do now, because a lot of people it takes forever to just actually stick with what they're doing with the training. You got to sort of feel it first, I find. But yeah, that too. And then number 3, I'd say just get the squat strength higher. So I've been squatting a bit more often, dealing with a bit of back dramas, which is why I'm not doing push pull run.
Oh,
Yes.
I was gonna ask.
Next
Yeah,
one. We're gonna do the next one.
I'm doing the one in 6 months. I will win.
You'll win. All right.
Okay.
No, not I will win. I will win. There we go.
I love
Probably
that.
not. Probably not. But you got to just be delusional.
Are you coming down still?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, man. All
Yeah.
right, cool.
But yeah, so get the squat strength up. I'm going to sort of like a 2 times frequency, doing a bit more of a volume based day, a
Right.
bit more high force day. So
And through the GPP lens, because obviously at Team GPP, you're all pro deep squats. How do is that the plan with dunk specific
Sink 'em.
squatting? Or
Just sink
we're still sinking him?
Just sink
all right, cool.
Nice.
So no box squats,
no box
partials,
squat, no just bouncing on the just
No-
smashing
no
your butt
1/8
on the box.
no 1/8 squats.
no hammering that. Just get it down. And then number 4, I'd say for me is getting my sprinting up a bit. I think being able to vertically run fast. Horizontally run
Sorry,
fast.
Can you just wiggle this? All right. Oh, we're good. There was a little.
It was the
It's gone.
Okay,
Good.
cool.
Mate.
So yeah, just getting my sprints up, getting a bit of doing a bit more top speed days. I'm sort of not doing acceleration days because I'm getting quite a lot of that in my dunk training already because everything's just drop the knee, shin angle changing. So acceleration is not too high, but pushing that top speed a bit more. But yeah, I'll still do some, but yeah, that's probably the 4 main factors for dunking at the moment to get that in-game dunk. So,
And obviously this is hard to quantify, but how much harder do you think it is, or how much more impressive do you think it is to get it in game? Obviously it's more impressive, but like, do you think it's, once you've dunked, you're right there, or is it just you have to get that much more, I guess, higher to really nail it? Because obviously it's timing and, it's less than ideal circumstances because you might have a defender chasing you down or whatever it is. Like, how much harder do you think it is?
well, it may not be harder, but like just trying to get the right moment comes down to like
During this
being
bit of,
open and
during there's a bit of stage fright involved.
yeah. No one's got a camera out, but I think if the camera comes out, I'll be even more.
And surely you want to make your first one. You want to know you're going to.
Oh,
make
yeah,
it.
no,
you don't want to miss your first. Have you attempted one yet?
Yeah,
again?
I'm getting rim stuffed. Yeah,
Okay.
just doosh and just like falling back. But no, I think a lot of it has got to do with the dribble,
Right.
like getting the dribble up right and not having a defender. It has to be a fast break dunk. It's going to be a fast break dunk. I think I got to have baby steps to an actual in-game dunk like Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, like just slamming on someone. Like I think the posterizers are a couple years away. Oh no, maybe a year and a half. But yeah, I think that's the first step. Just getting a fast break dunk, getting my steals up. Just yeah.
And now that we're preparing for an in-game dunk, are you like practicing dribbling up to it now? Or bringing it up
Yeah, 100%. Especially like just starting with low rim, getting higher and higher. Because it's all like dunking is all a skill.
Yeah,
it's all a skill. I don't care what what anyone says. Obviously, you got to be like physically prepared appropriately. But if you can jump decent, like just being able to do some low rim dunks and actually put the bloody ball in the net, makes it a world of a difference. Like, I don't think I add much onto my vertical, but just literally doing low rim dunks, getting that like from here to there.
So for the listeners, it's like getting the rim beneath your hand on the
sorry.
wrist. That's right. Some audio listeners, but yeah, we need that rim at like the wrist.
Yeah, we need that. Yeah, we need that ball to literally. So imagine you're supinated or palm up. You need that ball to just transition to where your hands pronated inside, and man, that's a skill.
Yeah.
Like you don't you don't realize it. It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, it does take a good amount of skill.
And in your league, are there some dunkers? Or if you were to dunk, would you be like the guy that hits dunks in game?
No, there's not many dunkers.
Someone needs to do it.
Yeah.
I got to be that guy.
You got to be that guy. 4-minute mile.
Yeah. I wish, you know what would have been sick? When I used to fill in for you, remember back in the day?
Box Hill.
Those days?
Box Hill ballers.
Those days. Those were so fun.
Far out. That was
I wish I had it there because, man, that would have been a great clip. You know,
It would have been.
the lob to from Dids to Jacob. Bang.
Fuck yeah.
That'd
That
been
wasn't even that
awesome.
long. That was a couple of years ago. Fuck. That was,
Really?
That was fun days.
That was so good.
I've only ever seen one highlight reel of yours. And that
Yeah,
was,
it wasn't good.
That was a real humdinger.
Shintha caught me off guard. Wasn't good, but that's all right.
No, Dids can play some great defense, man.
Thank you.
Your
That's
lateral,
right.
like being such a sagittal dominant sport that you're in, man.
You got to get like
That transverse plane
move
and
the
front
feet.
plane
Move the feet.
Move
Yeah.
the feet.
it was impressive. So yeah,
A little bit of a crab walk.
That's
that
it.
one.
That's it. You got it.
get the arms out.
Man. And then later in the year, push pull run. What are we thinking? And obviously, so the GPP lens is, you know, we keep all the qualities in all the year. So from here, post, you know, obviously as we get closer, you know, 3 to 6 months out, what changes with your training, or is it really just keep it fairly general and then all right, let's actually hit some specific deadlifting and benching from the lifting side? Obviously, there's a running side as well, but
100%. So I think that like you can GPP works as long like you can just GPP as long as what your sport is close to the weight room. If you get what I mean.
yeah.
So push pull run is pretty close to the weight room. So like I'll be GPPing till like quite a long time. I think I'll add some more like specific lifts for me, probably like 3 months, 2-3 months out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that obviously for sports, like you need to be playing your sport.
Yeah.
But when it's stuff close to the weight room, like you can afford to just have a bit more of a GPP phase, in my opinion. So that's what it'll look like. I'll obviously be running. There's not any specific, jogging. There's sprinting, obviously, but I'll always be doing that because I just love it. Like, it's my preference. Like, I love running. So, yeah, I'll that's probably the most specific thing I'll be doing very far out. So, yeah.
And then it's funny you say that because, like, obviously we're a lot more powerlifting focused, and whether it's due to preference or enjoyment, a lot of the training that we do and our lifters will do will look more powerlifting specific. But there's definitely plenty of lifters we have here who take the more GPP approach. Once again, whether that's due to preference or just the planning we might do. Like, for example, Ash Bowen, shouts out, has bench 140 before. The last 6 months we've done incline bench, we've done push-ups, dips, like no actual barbell benching. He's like, he's probably 5 weeks into benching again, and he's just gone 130, 132. He's up to 137 already.
Holy
like,
shit.
And he'll
Yeah.
bench over 140 at push pull run. And it's like obviously there's the specificity of he's still training a lot of chest, a lot of tricep, a lot of bench related movements, but he hasn't done any actual comp benching, and he'll PB 100%. But obviously he's pushed the volume, the intensity. It's been there the whole time. And once again, for the sake of enjoyment, for that approach might not work for a lot of powerlifters because they just really like benching and they want to bench all the time, and that's fine. But yeah, there's definitely a lot more juice to be squeezed. Even for him, like, you know, it's benching, you know, 140 at 85 kilos. Like that's a solid bench. It's not like he's not like he's just rolling through like just, you know, intro or like it's a solid bench. So but he's the blueprint in my mind of like, yeah, we can definitely shift away and just, all right, push runs coming up. All right, let's start benching again, and bang, there we go.
Yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes you can't really put your finger on it. It's just magic. It's just like just changing it up.
That's it. But obviously, there's still purpose and there's still progression and there's still goals. It's
Obviously,
just
yeah,
not
yeah.
specifically around the movement that we want.
Yeah,
to do.
just being able to like have something new to strive for, and like also having that reassurance. It's like, no, like you'll come back and
You're not going to forget how to bench.
You'll be okay.
You'll be right.
You'll be okay. You'll know how to arch. You know how to, touch it to your chest for a bit, put it back up. Like that stuff's not going to go away. So yeah, like I think that, yeah, GPP has a lot of, merit across anything really.
Yep.
You can apply it to any sort of training system or whatever sport you're doing. But, a lot of inspiration came from powerlifting, which you got to give credit to, like you guys, like the whole RPE approach as well. And like just the way that you guys view strength training and do strength training, like you get, like you get people that like have never done like powerlifting training, or it's just like being sports science. I've shadowed this sports person. I've shadowed that sports person. I've shadowed this strength coach, like sports scientist, whatever. And like, they don't know how it feels to be in a gym pushing strength. And so like you get a lot of these athletes doing like just fucking the most like you can't push anything to failure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and people think that's the gold standard. It's like, yeah, I'm going to look at that S&C coach because he trains AFL athletes. He's the best at getting AFL athletes strong. Like, is he? Like, that's not the goal of training footy players. It's to get them better at their sport.
Yeah.
Whereas like, you got to just look at the people that know how to get people strong, which are these guys. And so the magic really, when it comes to getting strong in your sport, is like applying your guys' principles and what you guys do into that GPP philosophy, into training athletes. It's like lighting, it's just absolute gas fire onto their strength.
Yeah, fucking right.
Yeah.
And then flipping it around, like, because a lot of the listeners are probably a little bit more powerlifting oriented. What do you think that your average powerlifting coach can take from the more GPP approach? And obviously, if you can add some things to me and James George's Arsenal mad, but I'd definitely say that the way you guys view things, and obviously, Angus being a presence in our world or our orbit for quite a while, there's definitely a lot of things that we probably do that, whether we realize it or not, have been influenced by just Angus's approach to things. But yeah, for the wider listener, like, what do you think are some things? Yeah, whether it doesn't have to be a powerlifter or like a general strength trainee who's really focused mainly on pushing numbers in the gym. Like, what do you think they can benefit from that GPP lens, even if they're not someone who's going to pursue more of those like athletic based goals?
Aerobic endurance.
Yeah.
I just think it's so valuable, especially for powerlifters. Like, I could see, like, when I started pushing my running for push-pull run, I felt so much fitter. I'm like, fuck, man, I'm on my 8th exercise today and I'm ready to go. I'm awesome. Like, my intensity was there. I was pushing harder. It's like the biggest cog that just moves all the other small cogs, I think, the aerobic endurance, and just like not overcomplicating it either. Like, you don't need to be running. You can do whatever you want. That's the beauty with aerobic training. It's like, do it as a thing where you enjoy it. Like, go to Heavy Run Club, have a coffee with mates, get your aerobic endurance up, all your lifts will go up. You'll be GPP'd. It's great. Or like, go for a swim, do whatever. Like, it just needs to be an easy, enjoyable activity. And I think that, if you want to, take a leaf out of GPP, is just like, just prioritize that base building stuff, and it'll just feel like your sessions will just be so much better. Like, you'll have energy. That's the main thing. Sure. It's like after a heavy, top set of squats, back offs, it's like you look at like 3x12 calf raises on the end of your program, like, oh my God, that is so skippable. Like, that's the most skippable exercise of all time. And like, that's the danger of like skipping your accessories, which you guys preach to just hit them with intensity. All your accessories is like, you got to have energy going into it too. Cause like, if you're like absolutely gassed, it's like, you're definitely not hitting it to a high intensity. And, those accessories are like the base to everything else that's going on with your big 3 lifts. So it's important for that. So I'd probably say aerobic endurance for sure. 100%, that's the main thing, 100%. And, even some deep plyos as well. If you got anyone struggling with really sinking or power at the bottom of that squat position or getting out of the hole, I think, just the fast eccentrics, getting down to that deep squat and popping right back up is of great value. But I think plyos in general as well is super important too. So yeah.
Man, I definitely felt it with the like just the general endurance based, aerobic based stuff, because I've definitely now, post doing that and continuing that, feel like looking back 3 years, I'm like, man, like I used to do like a couple of exercises, like obviously heavy, hard exercise, but I'd be cooked and I'd be like, I was struggling to like push through those later exercises. Where now it's like, I can get a lot more work done in less time and like still push the intensity, but just like, oh yeah, I can just go back and forth, superset. And I'm generally not as puffed out. Obviously you're still going to get a bit tired, no doubt, but like not like gas to the point where you're like taking like 5-10 minutes, like for stuff that just doesn't need that. 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I know you coaching James?
Yeah.
Like, could you just throw stuff at him? Because I know you come from like a very aerobic, like you have a gas tank on your day.
Yeah.
We definitely see that with more of the sporty types. Like, they can
Like you can
they
just throw
smack it.
shit at him.
That's
He's
it.
like, yeah, he can handle it. Don't worry. It's
for
like,
sure.
yeah. And I think as well, like people lean into that powerlifting stereotype. It's like, yeah, 3 hours in the gym, man, just have a nap in between. Like, it doesn't need to be like that. Like, that's not the standard.
No.
Like, you can get in and out. And I know, obviously, you guys take like it's much longer, but you can get a 90-minute session done, and it can be efficient and effective.
Yeah.
And I think it's just all got to do with that aerobic endurance.
Yeah, and I think it's any time that you can save, I think, is a positive thing. Like, even if you train 2 hours, if that's still obviously a lot amount of time. If you can make that 90 minutes, mad. If you can genuinely get the same amount of work done, half an hour, like it's still a decent amount of time in the gym. It's not a quick session, but that extra half an hour means that you've probably just done stuff that you might have otherwise skipped because you haven't been in the gym 2 hours. Like, oh fuck, I've got to leave. I've got somewhere to be, or it's getting late, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I think that aerobic endurance removes the most important thing that holds people back, which is friction. Like, the big friction with it when it comes to training. It's like, you know, I'm a power lifter. I have 2.5 hours to train. It's like, this is a lot of my day. And when you just are fitter, you go, oh, it's just this small thing in my day, rather than it's like, fuck, I got to go to the gym. Especially if you have, like, I know you guys work with a lot of like your everyday punters, 9-to-5ers, and it's like the last thing they want to do is just be here for so long. Like, you got to remove all the barriers to entry.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, literally, I know it's actually, if you think about it, it's like, oh, well, I actually have to do 30 minutes of cardio. So that's another thing. But it's a stock that you want to invest in for the long run.
And then obviously, not to mention the health.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Sorry, we care about the human,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously, like just improving your biomarkers and you know,
100%.
not dying early. So yeah,
We call it biohacking here.
biohacking.
We've taken a turn into that realm as of late.
Just 1%ers, just
That's it.
stacking, habit
it.
That's
stacking.
what
Stack 'em.
endurance is. It's 1%.
What have we been doing, guys?
A while ago, I dabbled in a little bit of ashwagandha.
Oh no!
I say it as it's like, yeah.
You're still on the ashwagandha?
No. There was lower hanging fruit. Just remove actual stress from my life. Actual care and like on things that didn't really mean a lot.
Yeah.
Bit of four agreements.
Yeah, but that was a big pillar of it actually.
What was that for?
The four
So-
agreements.
Don Miguel Ruiz. You should read it.
Oh, okay. Another one's a book list.
Little bite sizer.
Okay,
You can get it done in like a day,
Oh,
if
awesome.
that, few hours. Yeah.
Isn't the ashwagandha like? I've heard people like literally just becoming emotionless.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
Like
that.
people like doing it for like years and years. They'll be like, "Oh, congrats on like the 50K race." Thanks. That's awesome. Your dog died. Oh, it's alright. Like that's what it was. Yeah, literally people like
Love that.
there's
Wow.
people like I watch I'm
Bugger.
chronically online like TikToks like of people like literally
Fuck, I
feeling
miss
zero.
TikTok.
Really?
feeling zero. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
good.
I only ran it for like a couple.
Well, I'm glad you didn't
couple
get that
of
far.
weeks.
I reckon that's Big Pharma trying to badmouth ashwagandha.
Really?
No, I'm joking.
Oh. Conspiracy guy here. There's always a hidden intention.
That's it.
There's always
That's
some ulterior motive. Yeah. I get a bit like that, not gonna lie, but yeah.
It's all right.
But yeah.
No, actually, touching on the when you were speaking about just having someone that you can follow that's walk the walk with training and just what they're talking about. Recently, so I've jumped in on the GPP level 1 stuff. It's
Yeah, I
mad.
did hear.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
mad.
Thanks
Loving it.
for that. Yeah.
Nah,
Thanks for joining us.
and yeah, drinking the Kool-Aid. And well, I reckon it was probably the later end of last year. I wanted to just dabble a little bit in ollie lifts, but like didn't really know where to look. And looking back at my experience with them at uni, I was taught by someone that was literally telling us about how to do it from a textbook. Like we did
Wow.
not touch a bar once. We were in the weight room, but it was a lot of it was around, you know, I've done X, Y, Z, and this led to me like fucking my shit up, and so I'm not going to teach you to do it like this. You're going to do it like this, and he would just like fucking read it from the textbook. was crazy because I was like consuming that shit, and I'm like, oh, cool. Like, this is how you ollie lift. This is what it is. And then I tried to draw on that, like learning it at the later end of this year, and I was just could go nowhere. Like drawing a little bit from dids and Molly.
That's a bit of blind leading the blind. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm not the person to
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like it didn't have someone that's walked the walk and like looking around. You just see people on online doing it, and then Angus's stuff recently, at least that I've seen, popped up on my algorithm has been a lot of like his training, like the just power cleans. Just I don't think he's done. Well, I don't think I've seen him do a clean and jerk, but I'm sure
he definitely has in the past because he used to proper train ollie lifting.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think now I imagine it's an aspect of what he does. Whereas in the past he was like full ollie lifter.
But then I started consuming more of his stuff on it and like watching how he does it and how he explains just how he would coach it, and then I just started like taking that more on board and finding myself doing that more and more, and it just became easier to actually stick with it and continue it and kind of know where you're going with it. Obviously having a coach to teach you that would be awesome, but he's walked the walk, so it just made it so much easier. Yeah, it's a long-winded way of saying like, fuck you, having someone that knows what they're doing is just so much better than having someone that hasn't done it and they're just reading. They're just parroting.
100%. Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, thank you for that, like, on behalf of Angus. But, yeah, I think that, like, once again, it's just removing barriers. Like, you look at Olympic lifts, like, fuck, this guy's chucking this barbell there over his head. It's like, it's pretty intimidating, right? And so I think that if you just simplify it, a lot of the GPP tenets is like, just make everything simple. Like, but there's already enough barriers to entry when it comes to exercises, especially, Olympic lifts, like you said. So, yeah, just really making it simple, easy to do, like give you steps that are so practical. It's like, oh yeah, I can just see myself doing that. Like 100%. As long as you can see yourself doing that, like, yeah, that's the main thing. I think that when it starts to get a bit complicated, like it's either like, oh, I'm reading a study, or I'm just trying to gain views and just make it seem more complicated than it really is. Oh,
into the microphone. You're doing your.
So I'm really like, yeah.
You can move it with you. You can cut.
Oh, really?
Way, you can come
transition. And hey. No, so like, yeah. As I was saying, it's like you just got to remove all the barriers, and yeah, that was with me at the start. Is like just piggybacking off your sort of story. It was the same with me. It's like, man, like I'm not strong enough. Like I suck at this, But you just got to have a red hot crack at the end of the day. And then you just adjust from there, red hot crack, adjust, just repeat the cycle. So yeah, I appreciate that. And like with the content that, a lot of the content that the tutorials really go viral because people really understand, like get to like see themselves doing it. It's like, oh, I just have to pull it to my chest, scrape my shirt. Oh, that's really simple. And then there was actually, when he did a seminar here, the GPP seminar, or I don't know what it was called, one of the coaches that was in the seminar screen recorded his own story and sent it to Angus. And that was like one of the most viral videos on GPP. Was like, I think he goes, just slide and drag, elbows up, knuckles down, or something like that. I don't know how the fuck I remember that, but
because it's so viral. Yeah.
And I did remember that because it's fucking simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and people like in the comments like, oh, well, technically it doesn't actually work like that. And it's like, it's not the point.
Yeah.
Like, it's just getting people to do the thing.
Absolutely.
That's the quickest way to learn.
100%. And like, obviously in our world, like we try to do that, like simplify things, say less, just demonstrate, just, keep it concise, because there's a lot of wafting and there's a lot of just over cueing and over anatomicalizing.
Language salad.
Too much. And then, the easiest way, with the things we actually know how to coach. I don't know how to coach the Olympic lifts, but with things we know how to coach, it's just, keep it simple.
I think it comes more like it's sort of like the coach just trying to prove themselves almost, or like I know what I'm doing, or like just showing the knowledge. It's like, no, your knowledge comes from like getting this person to actually do it. Yeah. Like that's what makes you a good coach.
Yeah, obviously as you progress as a coach, you can have the confidence to just say nothing.
Yeah.
and let them do a rep and be like,
yeah.
yeah, that was good. Let's go up in weight. And like, you know, maybe when you're younger, less experienced, you feel like, oh, like I've got to show them I'm doing something. But obviously, part of being a coach is obviously knowing when to shut up and just let them keep doing what they're doing and not try to change something that doesn't need change. With the Olympic lifting, though, I think for me, it was a real good wake up call to that, like, you know, old phrase that like, oh, practice makes perfect, but like it actually doesn't, because if you practice something poorly, you get nowhere. Because I've been doing the Olympic lifts, I've been cleaning once a week for like 18 months, got a bit of progress and kind of spun my wheels for a while. And it was one of our members, Molly, who's got a CrossFit background, so she's done plenty of Olympic lifting. Like the first time she ever saw me do a clean, it was like she was just diagnosed exactly what I wasn't doing. And just the exact fix. I'm like, oh, like, and it's one of those things, like you don't know what you're doing wrong, but you can tell when the person who's giving you some advice actually knows what they're talking about and like is helping. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing it perfectly, but I can see how I was doing that wrong. So it's a long way of saying like, you can do things over and over again, but sometimes it just takes that expert to just come in and just give you that very specific advice, because you can just do the same thing over and again. And you could get better, but you could also just continually do it wrong and wonder like, oh, why am I still cleaning in the 60s? Why do I struggle when I go to 75 and it's really not that much weight? But then you realize, there's some really basic, as we would call them, like big rocks that I just wasn't doing. And like, and once again, I just didn't even realize that I wasn't doing. And like now I still haven't cleaned that much. When I do that, I'm like, yes, this is what I was supposed to be feeling. This is what was missing. And like, I do a bad rep and I'm like, I know what I did wrong there. Which parts I'm like, I don't know. Like I kind of did it. Didn't feel the best. Felt all right. Like, so yeah, I think, just having that external eye that actually knows what they're talking about, it goes such a long way, man.
Yeah, just getting that altered perspective of what you're doing 100%. And I think, you know, like 50th time we mentioned, but Angus, I think with a lot of what he did, like he just did everything on his own. I don't think he's ever had a coach per se. Yeah. Like Ollie lifts, he just fuck around and find out. But like I use this sort of analogy, like you as the athlete are the car that is driving and we're going to a destination, but the destination can be fucking anywhere. And then you get the coach, we just usher you. You are the driving ship, but we're just ushering you in the right direction. And so I think that it just takes two to tango. Like it is that hero's journey, but you just got to have someone that knows how to get there. At the end of the day, I know the best way. You go this way, this way, this way, aka giving cues, giving better technique, giving, you know, different advice and feedback, which you felt the benefit of, but you can't get someone to the destination that doesn't actually get in there and get stuck into it. So
you've got to do it.
That's the hardest part of the whole thing.
Man. Speaking of the coaching journey, nutrition, we've done it for a couple of years.
Yes, we have.
I think you'll no doubt you'll would have felt that whole like you're driving the car, it's your journey. I'm just there alongside you to kind of point you in the right direction a little bit, veer you back on course a bit. Like
looks like you're slapping him around a bit.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. You know, you got
little push here and there. Yep.
But yeah, so obviously that was our first, I guess, meeting through nutrition coaching. It's been at least 2 years now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
100%.
We've gone through a bit, but yeah, how have you found that experience, and how do you think, you know, that kind of that hero's journey, or that kind of you're driving the car sort of analogy has applied there?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing of it was like just having myself be accountable to my own nutrition and be like, oh, I'm making the decisions. I'm the driver of my own ship. And I feel like that's where behavioral changes happen the most, is when it's like when a coach like did a really good job. It was like, this is what you sort of like, what could you do? What could you do here? What could you do here? Because like he's not at my house when I'm cooking. He's not there, you know, looking at what I'm putting in my pan. It's like, what could you do in this moment? And then you go, oh, I could have done that. And then you come up with the answer yourself.
Yeah.
And then you take a bit more like ownership over your own results. It's like, I'm driving the ship. It's great. And so I think that's what I really learned a lot with being coached by Dids with my nutrition. It's like, you know, I'm the driver of the ship, sort of thing. And I think I've really translate that into my own coaching. It's sort of put the breadcrumbs and let them lead to that destination, not being like, the destination is here's the destination. Like, go do it. It's like, it doesn't go anywhere. Like, and it doesn't create a a client or myself, like it doesn't give me any toolboxes to use. Like I won't know how to navigate when I'm out in the cruel world of all this hyper palatable food, to know how to navigate out of that. So it's more about the lessons. It's like coaching is almost like a course of like how to do it rather than, oh, this is what I'm going to give you. Sort of thing. So I think that's been a huge factor with my coaching as well. It's like I lead the clients to make their own answers themselves. I think that's super powerful, especially with nutrition.
For sure.
Just so complex.
And like me and James George have definitely probably discussed the last maybe 6 months or so about blending the kind of top-down approach as well as the bottoms-up approach, because everything we do here is quite bottoms up. Like it's more reacting to what we see, not always really forward planning, just kind of being adaptable. Yeah, obviously dealing with the person in front of us and the context in front of us. And obviously that applies to nutrition as well. And obviously in saying that though, there's still times it's not one or the other. I think ultimately our bias is always going to be towards bottoms up. Like I don't think that's going to change, but top down, I guess, strategies still have their place. And the same thing goes with nutrition. Like there'll be times where it's like, nah, man, like we've just got to not do that, or we really have to do this. But I think for the most part, and this goes to training and nutrition, I think it's almost like our job's there to like be that mirror, and like instead of telling someone the answer, even if they want the answer, sometimes it's more like helping them like see the path in front of them so they can take the steps to find the answer for themselves. And ultimately what it comes down to is making people self-sufficient. And like, you know, obviously I've coached you for a couple of years now. Like, you know, if you were to just do your own thing, like I'm fairly confident that you'd be good to keep rolling.
And that's the whole goal of it, right?
And like, obviously it takes, I like to think that I've been helpful in that, but it obviously takes you actually, you know, doing the process. Like goes back to the textbook. Like you can't read about fucking doing cleans. You've got to do some cleans. Like you've actually taken the steps, you've made the changes, you've gone on the journey through the different goals we've attacked. But I think, because I haven't been there to be like, all right, Jacob, this is exactly what we're doing. This is exactly what I need from you, and shut up and just listen. Like, because you've had that space to obviously make decisions now, like, then that's definitely the number one goal. Like if in 10 years from now, you're like, oh yeah, I still have a good grasp on my nutrition and I can actually make decisions and kind of navigate things. But you got there because of that journey we went on. And obviously the same thing goes for training. Like ultimately, if someone is your client to some degree, they are going to be dependent on you and they are going to look towards you. But, you know, I think we can, you know, say that the longer we do coach people, they do obviously become more and more self-sufficient, and they do, I guess, build that autonomy. But that's the key. It has to be built. You can coach someone for 5 years and they're still not autonomous if you go about it in a way that doesn't build autonomy into it. Like that's you can do that if you want to, but then once they are on their own, they're probably going to be fucked because they don't know what they're doing. Like, and obviously, it doesn't mean they might not. Obviously, there's always going to be. I think there's always a benefit for a coach if you have the right goals or in the right context. But yeah, I think, you know, the way we like to go about things is. Yeah, like we're trying to build you up as an individual, whether it's nutrition or training, and like give you the tools.
100%. Yeah, I think my approach to coaching is like I initially start pretty top down. Yep. Like people come in pretty motivated and they want to get the change. I'm like, we'll do this, and then once they start to get the wins on the board, then it becomes a bit more bottoms up. Yeah, but I think you can't really go bottoms up if they're not actually doing anything. And I think the doing anything comes down to just being like, okay, do that. Yeah. And then like you can sort of psychologically get them into it, but at the end of the day, like they still need to do stuff. But 100% bottoms up is the end result for sure. So yeah, also I think as well, like with the current like meta right now with the nutrition coaching, it's very much like, you know, macros and meal plan and stuff like that, which it will get results. Like, and I think that's what people are after in a business. It's like, we need to get as many testimonials. Like we need that before and after just flooded through our landing page or whatever. But I think if you really want to, like the true testimony is like, I don't need this coach anymore. And I'm out there in the real world doing like, I'm going to this event and this event, and I'm still maintaining my physique and maintaining my health. And
the thing, the thing is, it's a hard sell because
it is.
Like before and after are easy. We could do a hard cut for the next 12 weeks. You could have abs popping out, but then no one sees the next 3 months where you're cooked because you rebound hard and that was a good period, or it was a challenging period, but there were objective results. But it's harder to be like, oh yeah, Jacob's gone through a 24-month process of navigating different challenges and building up his nutritional literacy to now he's at the point where
it's a shit to sell.
He can navigate the nutrition landscape on his own. Like exactly, it's not catchy.
It's not sexy.
It's not sexy.
I know.
Yeah. But yeah, you know what I mean. But so surprise, that's why people gravitate towards those like challenges, 12 weeks, 8 weeks, go hard, get results, because people want to see that. But what people and this is where like it might sound pretentious, but I think almost you have to. People don't know what they need. And I know that sounds 100%. That definitely sounds pretentious, but they genuinely don't. Like even me, like I've done some running coaching recently with Tom Clark, and same thing for me. That is an area that I know nothing about. I was like, man, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Can you help me out here? Can you give me some guidance? And like the things I learned from him and the way we went about it. If I was left to my own devices, there's a lot of things I just genuinely wouldn't have done. And like on reflection, I'm like, I'm glad we went about it this way. But I didn't know that that's what I needed. I needed that. And this is where like, it's not bottoms up or top down. You do need that expert. Obviously, granted, there's someone you can actually trust and actually put your faith in. But like you need someone to kind of show you the path, especially when you're fresh with something. It's like there's a path that is going to be really good for you to go down, but you would never know because you just don't know what you don't know sometimes. And it's not to say that like, as a coach, you know everything and you're this, holier than thou, or you're just, this on your ivory tower, whatever. But like at the end of the day, people are coming to you because they do want a bit of guidance too. And I think that's a really good way you put it before around, especially early on, like going, I definitely think, in times gone past, I've made that mistake of going bottoms up too early. And then I think the problem is as a client, sometimes they can be like, where the fuck are we going? Like you know that there's a plan there. You know that there's things that are going to come. But sometimes you have to really spell it out to people. Like, all right, this is what we're doing. This is what we're going after. Like, you know that there's steps coming. But if they kind of feel like, oh, like I haven't got any results with you yet. Like, what are we actually doing here? Where are we going? Like, they need a bit of direction. Like, you got to kind of lay it out a bit.
Yeah, I think the big thing for me was just celebrating the habits.
Yeah.
Just making a big fucking deal of it. Like, just, oh my God, you got like 150 grams of protein today. Like, great job.
Yeah.
Although they may not seem that, like just getting that externalized, like really making a big deal out of that. And then that's just going to carry the momentum for them. That's where that sort of like, that coaching comes into play with celebrating. I think that really trying to make a big point of celebrating the small habits and the goals that they've hit. And like, I have this sort of app that we use, like Trainerize, where the habit, you can set a streak of the habits. Sorry,
as
well.
Can you just wiggle that? Oh, sorry to interrupt you. I think it's mine.
Is it mine?
Oh, we're good now. We're good. Sorry. Oh. Continue.
Sorry. Fuck. There's an app that I use for it's Trainerize for my clients, where you can streak these streaks, and it's like a bit rewarding. And then like you look back at yourself and you're like, oh shit, like I've lost 4 kilos. And it was just like literally doing these habits. And that's where I think that the emphasis of celebration of your clients needs to be sourced to. So yeah. But yeah, like another thing as well, what I was going to say before touching on like, it's sexy, these results. It's like, what if we just had like this like live camera, like, where are they now?
Yeah.
Where are they now? Like, there's an Instagram, there's a guy on Instagram that does like transformations, like really, really fast transformations. And I'm seeing this, I'm like, fuck, this is like almost 2 kilos a week. I'm like, it's fucking insane. It's like, where the fuck are these guys now? Like, what habits did they learn in 8 weeks? Yeah. Like, what neural connections are made in the brain within 8 weeks of like, what are their plates looking like?
Long-term results, sustainability, we're all about it. The process.
Yes.
We love it, but it's not sexy, but that's all right.
It's not sexy. We're always in the pursuit of making it sexy. Let's make habits sexy.
It's our job. We have to, like, and it sounds...
We've got to dress it up.
We have to dress it up. Yeah. We have to dress it up.
Make it look real nice.
And like another one, like we have to dress up weight maintenance. We have to, oh man, you maintain weight. And you were able just to sit.
Yeah.
Like,
you didn't get fat. No.
No, but dead set. Like, as a former yo-yo dieter, me, like, now being able to maintain my weight for like 2 years, I'm like, oh man. Like, that's genuinely, like that's objectively and like genuinely, for me, feels like a win. And that's mad. And like for a lot of people, that can be a win. Instead of being like, oh, like, I'm always losing weight, always gaining weight, or I'm either losing weight or then fucking bouncing out. Like, that's really cool to be like, oh, I can just eat well and be confident that I'm going to maintain weight and not have to be dieting and just like sit where I'm at. Like
I think the fear of it is it's like it's that objective, like it's that plateau sort of thing, like in real life you're like, oh shit, I'm not doing anything, I'm not moving or anything, but it's just that little thing that where you're just weighing yourself as like, fuck, this is plateau in real life.
Yeah,
like,
I'm not getting leaner and I'm not getting bigger at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think another way that obviously more related to training, but another way where that kind of comes to the surface is just like repeating loads. Like obviously with a more like standard linear progression approach, we hit percentages or we hit a certain load and that goes up every week and like, oh yeah, I went up 2.5 kilos every week. And then ideally with like more of an RPE lens, there might still be progression across the block, but we're not hunting that. We're hunting a stimulus, we're hunting a intensity, and then that might mean that might mean that we're repeating loads week after week.
Yes.
But even for our clients who have only ever maybe been programmed from the RPE lens, it still is challenging to be like, hey man, you've repeated the same load for 4 weeks, but that's okay because it's still a challenging load. You're working appropriately hard, but it's like being a maintenance. No one wants to sit there. Like they'd almost and you can't blame people. People would rather start at a lighter weight so they feel like there's progression. Where it's really like, oh, maybe let's hit a deadload week, and like objectively, you could hit the same load for 6 weeks, maybe even 10 weeks. And it's going to be stimulative. It's going to be driving progress. And yeah, of course, over time we want it to go up, but like it's that same thing. It's just being comfortable and like taking that step back. This is a process. Look at the big picture. We don't need to see those results right now. We're here to put in the work, and then over time things get better.
100%. It's so hard to translate to Gen Pop. It's like their whole career, like their life is very performance, like these high earners, people that like, oh yeah, we hit this KPI, this KPI, this KPI, and then they clock off and they're like, oh, I'm at 110 again this week. Again. And they're coming from such a high performance life where it's like, I'm hitting this KPI, this went up, this number went up, my business did well. And then it's just like, I guess it's still, we're lucky that they still get that feeling after the gym. Like, I'm strong, I feel good, but just seeing that sort of stagnation is pretty tough to keep them in.
And it definitely, and obviously this is looking more through the coaching lens, but I think it's definitely important to be aware of that and know if certain clients need to feel that kind of, that build, we just need to facilitate that. Because, I mean, you can hope that most people get to the point where like, it's okay, I've trained long enough to know that this number is still challenging and I don't need to be doing more every single week. But obviously you got to deal with the person in front of you and adapt the plan to a way that feels most appropriate.
Yeah, you got to make that experience tailored, right? It's all about that 100%. Experience. So
100%.
So yeah, I think it's like diving like head first into like coaching a bit more like high earners and like one-to-one. It's like they value stuff so much differently. Like some of them are very performance oriented. You got some that are like happy to like, fuck, I get to put my phone in the locker for an hour. That's the win of this session.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like everything outside, like I'm present in the moment in the gym. Everything outside is just silence now. So yeah, it's been a really good experience to see what people actually value and what you can bring to a training experience, because it's all different at the end of the day. And that's the tailored approach, I think, as well. It's like, what vibe, what environment, what experience am I providing for this person? And, that changes week to week once you just gain more data. And it's not coming from a textbook or a study.
It's just it's vibes.
It's vibes.
It's truly vibes.
It's aura.
Vibes is the most...
100%.
Yeah, aura, vibes is the most scientific way about it to get results.
We'll leave it there. Jacob Mesquita, thank you.
Thank you guys for having me on.
It was awesome to
have you. It's been awesome.
We'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.